So let me stop here, and then of course we will have, I believe, 30 minutes for questioning or whatever Altaf wants. Ji, Ali Madad.
Thank you for an inspiring talk again. Let me just go through the questions. So one question is that Aziz Bhai just said Imam is fountainhead of souls. Can you please explain how come so many are atheists, or do their souls come from elsewhere?
So second question first, no. The first question, وَكُلِّ شَيْءٍ أَسْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. Everything is encompassed in the manifested Imam. Everything meaning everything. That include the ocean of the souls. The reason we are having hard time consuming or digesting this notion, the ocean of the soul in the Imam, because we think of the soul as the multiplication, 7.8 billion people, when the soul is one, nafsun wahida, one single soul, and we are all sun ray copies of that one single soul, which is Imam, and therefore Imam is the fountainhead of everything, including the souls. Ji.
Thank you. One other question is, I think Sultan Muhammad Shah says in his memoirs, peace be upon him, that Spinoza and others of great love attained self-realization. Do they have a word or a key? Like, I'm guessing they're asking if they had Ism Azam of some sort.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to say about that one, Uncle? Like, do you want to...
Yeah.
Is there any words for that?
Go back and listen to today's lecture again, because I have already answered that. Without the Ism Azam, regardless of how we think and see, because we look at everything as a physical, and we think if someone is not smiley, how would he get Ism Azam from Imam? Right? That is the thought process. We are limited.
I think that's a question. I think
we are limited to the physical didar, but Imam is not limited. Imam is not limited to the physical giving of the Ism Azam. He will guide to whomever he wish. He will guide toward his nur whomever he wish. Ji.
So I think someone is asking about the support of supporting them with concentration.
Are we talking about yoga? Are we talking about different methods? What are the...
They've just said in here, what do you think about using brain entrainment or listening to binaural audio? So basically, like the music or sounds or...
Yeah. So what Imam said for the Ism Azam? Why do we have to do it 4 o'clock in the morning? Because that is the quietest time, which time the radio waves, the sound waves are at its lowest point, and that is 4 o'clock. Silent, quietness, mindfulness, inner concentration. That is important. During the day, whatever helps you, relax, that's fine. But ibadat time, 4 o'clock, that is the time to be quiet and concentrate on the bowl quietly. Otherwise, we could listen to these melodies, relax sound waves 24 hours. Why do we need 4 o'clock? Watch what Imam is saying. इमाम की हिदायत के अंदर अपना नहीं चलता है, because Imam knows what is best for us. If Imam has said use the melody, the relaxing sound, if that's what he said, go right ahead. Ji.
I think there's a question from Shiraz. Let me just, Shiraz uncle, let me unmute him. Shiraz uncle, do you want to ask your question, please?
Yeah, Ali Madad.
ALWAAZ, can you hear me?
Ji, please do not call me ALWAAZ. I'm just Garib and Nachis. I'm not an ALWAAZ.
Okay, then I will introduce myself. Maybe ek Nachis ho.
शुक्र अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
सर, अभी आपने सोल के बारे में कुछ बात किया था, तो can you explain these 3 major levels of the soul? नफ्से अमारा, नफ्से लावामा and नफ्से मुतमाइना.
जी. So all these 3 words in the Quran. First, let's take the literal meaning. Nafse amara. Nafs we all know, soul. Amara, ordering. जो order करती है हमको. Do this, do that. I want this, I want that. नफ्से अमारा. अमारा का वर्ड जो है अमर से आया है, हुक्म करने वाली रूह. वो हमको क्या हुक्म करती है? I want this and I want that. जो हमारी ख्वाहिशात है ना, जो हमारी विश है. So you understand what is the difference between want and the need. Our need is 3 times food and a roof over our head. Our want is biryani. Our want is huge home. Our want is million and billions of dollars. But our need is this much. So that want which tells you I want this and that is called nafse amara. Hukam karne wali ruh. All these 3, nafse amara, nafse lawama, nafse mutmainah, are 3 stages of your human soul. 3 stages of human soul. After you have been completed as human. Remember, the completion of the human was the other 4 souls, or the attribution of your soul. The mineral soul, the vegetative soul, the animal soul, and the rational soul. This comes after that. Okay? Okay. नफ्स हमारा. नफ्स लवामा, तनकीद करने वाली रूह, क्रिटिसाइज करने वाली रूह, जिसको हम इंग्लिश में कॉन्शियंस कहते हैं. कॉन्शियंस यानी कि जो हमको बोलती है दिस इज राइट, दिस इज रॉन्ग. नफ्स लवामा तमीज करने वाली, rationalize करने वाली between the wrong and the right. So नफ्स लवामा को पीरों ने, the नफ्स लवामा, P. Nasir Khusro has explained, the nafs lawama is your conscience, and your conscience is actually the voice of your imam. और उसको उन्होंने रसूल अव्वल कहा है. Your first prophet within you is your nafs lawama. So nafs lawama does what? He tells you this is not right, don't do that. And when you make a mistake, she will correct you. So nafs lawama is also called correctional soul. Correctional soul. क्योंकि इमाम का काम है कि वो मोमिनों को करेक्ट करके सीधे रास्ते पर चलाए. So Rasul Awwal, the sound or the voice of Imam in you, the conscience, is called nafs lawama. Okay, then comes to nafs mutmainna. Now, you have to pay attention to nafs mutmainna. Okay? When a mu'min transforms his nafs amara into nafs lawama, and when mu'min with the help of imam transform his nafs lawama into nafs mutmainna, satisfying soul. And I will give you a farman for that. When you receive that, the happiness that you will feel, there will be no replacement of that. जो खुशी आपको हासिल होगी उसका कोई रो बदल नहीं है. That happiness only can come when a mu'min receives nafs mutmainna. Again, पीरों ने उसको explain किया है nafs mutmainna को. A mu'min have nafs mutmainna when he become one with the soul, the nafs of the imam. उसको nafs mutmainna कहते हैं. I think I have given more detail than you were asking, but this was the answer to your question.
Very well answered.
Thank you very much.
It was very well answered.
Shukran.
I was confused when I got this, when I read it somewhere, because the explanation he only gave, which you put it very properly. The last one was a satisfied soul, and the other one was a censoring soul, and the previous one was a soul that commands evil. So I was a bit confused of what all it meant, you see, and it's a good thing that you explained to me. Thank you very much, sir.
Shukr, alhamdulillah. Shukr, Mullah.
Now, one more question, can I ask?
Ji, please go ahead.
The angel comes to wake you up. Yeah? Sometimes to wake me up at 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. in the morning, sometimes at 3:30, and if I don't sit, if I go to sleep, say I'll get up at 4, I never get up at 4, I get up at 5 then. He wakes me up again at 5, which is, I've missed the time. Now what do I do? Should I sit straight away when I get up at 3?
Okay. So,
can I do that?
Yeah, I don't know if this is a line I can ask question. You do not have to answer to me. My question to you would be, what time do you sleep? You don't have to answer. Second question, what time do you eat your dinner? Third question, what do you do before you go to sleep? Answer to yourself. I don't want you to answer on this line because that is your personal matter. So let me explain and give answer to your question. If you sleep the way that this Garib and Nachis recommend, 9:30, no later than 10 o'clock. Do not eat after 6:30 in the evening. Do your niyat and tasbiyat before you go to sleep. If you follow this prescription, then what will happen? You will never ever will miss. You will wake up 2:30 in the morning. You will wake up 3 o'clock in the morning without any alarm. Without any alarm. And if you try this for 7 days, maybe 40 days, and see, it have worked for every single person that I have spoken to. If there is someone out there who have not told me that it did not work for me, then I don't know. But every person that I have spoken to in last 10, 15, 20 years has worked for them every single time. G.
But I've done this and I still get up at 3:30. And my alarm goes off at 4. When it goes off, I just put it off and I go to sleep.
Okay,
Because
so how
I
about,
don't get at 3 o'clock.
G, how about you call me? Call me after this session.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was Merun, my wife who was talking
Yes,
to you.
I recognize her voice, yes.
I'll call you later on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Altaf.
Not your uncle. Dr. Fali, let me unmute you if you want.
Yeah, Ali Madad, sir.
Yeah, Ali Madad.
Sir, as you said that your selection of words is very selective. So I was listening your words today attentively. At one place you used word, use your Isme Azam correctly. So this word correctly, is it just as a English language you have used, or there is something behind it?
There is something behind it. I keep mentioning different prescriptions, different recommendation, because some people use their Isme Azam, and I'll give you a couple of 3 examples. So everyone else who may have a question, who have not asked yet, can understand from this, and we can put those questions to rest. How do you understand your Isme Azam? Number 1. Is this Isme Azam to you just a word from the Quran? Is it a bowl from the Imam? What does it mean? What really does it mean? How does it affect you? How does it connect with your soul? What speed should you recite this Isme Azam? When do you practice and when do you bring it into the test? When you have covered all of these thoughts, now what are you doing? You are applying your Isme Azam correctly. 100%, right? Because if you have done one but not the second or the third or the fourth, then you are applying it 25%, 50%, 75%. But I think it is the requirement, it's not optional. It is a requirement that we follow the recommendation. And this is not me, okay? I'm no one. Imam in different places has taught us how to do that. G. Altaf, may I ask you something? I just saw a comment on the bottom of my screen. Someone said Nafs al-Lawama is the animal soul. Did someone say that? Could you check that for me, please?
Yeah, somebody's an iPhone. Someone who's good. The name is iPhone.
Okay. May I have a permission to correct that?
Yes, of course. It's the name is Amar.
Yeah, that is fine. Name ka koi masla nahi hai. I just want to make sure the understanding is correctly. Nafse Amara, Nafse Lawama, Nafse Mutmaina. So there is an explanation out there. Then Nafse Amara is the animal soul, Nafse Lawama is the human soul, and Nafse Mutmaina is Imam's soul. Saying this is so easy, right? I could have said that when Shiraz asked me the question. I could have said that. But that doesn't resolve, doesn't solve the purpose, doesn't answer. Matter of fact, it will confuse our listener more. So it is, if you trust me, it is my job to make sure that when I am giving example and explaining, I explain in such a way that not only the person who is asking question, but also all the other listeners who want to learn can pay attention and learn from it. I'm sorry, brother, I'm not trying to criticize anyone. Be careful, because Neem Hakim Khatra Jan. Half knowledge is very dangerous. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. Ji Yali Madad.
Malali Madad. I want to ask, if we wake up every day and we pray, it's Madam, so how we will understand that, how we will feel? I can't explain you.
ઉર્દુ માં બોલો, ગુજરાતી માં બોલો, જી તમને લેંગ્વેજ સારી લાગે છે બોલો.
હા વાંધો નહીં. આપણે દરરોજ ઉઠે છે અને આપણે દરરોજ બંદગી કરે છે, તો આપણને એટલે આપણને કેમ ખબર પડશે કે આપણને કેમ ખબર પડશે કે આપણને કેવી રીતે ફીલ થશે?
अच्छा, okay, समझी गया तुम्हारा question. Thank you. I understand the question. She's asking, let's say I am waking and I'm practicing my ibadat every day. How and when would I know that I have received the blessing? So,
Yes.
let me answer in two different ways. Again, for you and for everyone on the line. One, Imam has said, when and if you receive that blessing, you will have no doubt in your heart. જ્યારે તમને આ મળશે ને તો તમારા દિલમાં કાંઈ બી ક્વેશ્ચન નહીં હશે આના બારામાં. You will understand it 100% completely. ठीक है? That's one answer. Second, if you have, अगर તમારા ઘર true knowledge, હકીકી ઇલ્મ હશે ને, અગર તમારા ઘર જાણકારી હશે ને, you will feel, and I'm going to disclose something more than what you have asked, okay? હું ગુજરાતીમાં બી બોલીશ ને ઇંગ્લિશમાં બી બોલીશ તાકે બધા સમજી જાય. ઠીક છે? So, the receiving of the happiness and seeing of the nur. આપણને ખુશી મળવા અને નૂર દેખાવા ના વચમાં એક લાંબો રાસ્તો છે. There are a path between the receiving the happiness and between the seeing the nur is a long path.
Okay.
Person with the knowledge will understand that Mola is guiding him or her with giving him or her a kind of happiness. So he or may she work even harder in the ibadat and the Isme Azam, so he or she may see the nur at the end of it. So happiness is the first stage and the seeing the nur is the second stage at the end of it. And I'm going to explain even further with your permission. Arjun bhi આને explain કરું છું કે જ્યારે પેલી દવા આપણને કોઈ ચીજ સમજમાં આવશે ને તો આપણી ખુશીનો પાર નહીં હશે. When you will receive the first happiness, you will jump up and down. You will not be able to contain yourself. Second, જ્યારે પેલી દવા નૂર દેખાશે ને તો આપણી આંખો છે ને આમ બંધ થઈ જશે, ચૂંધાઈ જશે, એટલી રોશની હશે કે આપણે આંખો ખોલી નહીં શકશો. And there will be no doubt in your heart કે તમને શું મળ્યું છે. I think I have said more than I should have said. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I get the answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yali Mother, Brother Aziz, Happy New Year is Hanif. Shukr Mola, Shukr Ali Allah for another inspirational talk. In your talk, you mentioned you wanted us to review one or two ayats from Surah Baqarah, and you explained them, but you didn't give us the number. Can you please give us the number? So then we can really do the homework, because otherwise I can do some searching. It's a big ayat, big surah.
So what I was doing, I was giving some of you some of the homework, and it is so funny that yesterday in one of my class, one of the students said, this homework is too much, and I said, how about teacher does the homework and let me do the homework for you today. And that's what I told them, So my brother Hanif, this was the homework, so you would look at those ayat. But because you ask, I cannot say no to you, my brother. That's Surah Baqarah, ayat number 152.
Okay, shukran Mola.
All
Thank
right?
you again.
Yes, definitely, brother.
Uncle, there's a question here. Directly or indirectly, I will answer. Why do we decide dua as Ya Ali Ya Hazrimam? तो हमारी मुश्किल आसान है. Why not Ya Mawla or Ya Allah?
Okay. So I'm going to repeat this question because there was some kind of disturbance in the back. So
Sorry, I've got children
yes,
with me on the phone.
yes, yes. Let me repeat this question. The question is, why do we say Ya Ali Ya Hazrimam, हमारी मुश्किल को आसान कर, instead of saying Ya Mola, Ya Allah, or any other word? So first initial question answer is, you can call him by any name you like and wish. But in the Jamaat Khana, in the prescription, in the rites and ritual, for everyone to follow the one single line of thought, what do? We decide to say Ya Ali Ya Hazir Imam. That is the first answer to your question. There is a second answer. And I believe I was talking about this in one of our sessions on this line. When someone asked, and this was so personal question to me, but because she asked with so much love and with so much curiosity, she asked, how do you call, she was asking me, how do you call Hazir Imam? And I said, and this is very personal to me, I just call him Ya Mola, Ya Mola, Ya Mola, Ya Mola, Ya Mola, Ya Mola, Ya Mola. Because to me, within the name or the word Mola contains everything. He is my master, he is my boss, he is my imam, he is my guide, he is my nur, he is my life, he is my soul, he is everything to me. So my favorite word to call Mola Bapa is just Ya Mola, Ya Mola, Ya Mola, Ya Mola. So when I say something, Ya Mola, please mushkil asan for me. See, I don't use any other word. But that is my preference because that is my connection to Mola Bapa. Your connection may be Ya Ali. Your connection may be Ya Shah Karim. Your connection may be Ya Hazir Imam. Your connection be whatever you like to be. The last answer. And this will require your attention, okay? Why do we not say Ya Allah? Because Allah Himself has told us to call me with my beautiful name. And because it is the hukam, the farman, Allah says, do not call me without using the beautiful names. And so what we do? We follow that command. We use Ya Ali, Ya Mola, Ya Hazir Imam, Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad, and whatever other beautiful name we have, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman. Because that is the Farman-e-Ilahi. Ji.
Thank you, Uncle. If we have any other questions, does anyone want to put their hand up? I think Aziz Uncle's got a couple more minutes.
There is a one question, Altaf, that someone just asked me. I think she is on this lecture because I cannot see everybody on this. Asking, in my first class, like 3 sessions ago, we talked about the free will. When do we lose our free will? Tell me from the number on the clock. Do we all remember the clock that we were talking about? The journey of the soul, the clock. So she's asking, what number do we lose our free will? From 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 to 12. At what level? Answer to your question is at number 1. At number 1, we lose our free will. Why would I say that? Because 1 is the place of fana fi imam, and once you are fana, one with imam, there is no two-ness. It is a place of oneness. So it cannot be me and him. It cannot be you and him. That's when you lose your free will. G.
So Kabir is asking, I think you've answered this in a previous session, but Hazrat Imam has said in his farmers to sit without any fear, greed and demand. He's asking what this means.
G.
If you want to briefly just recap.
Okay, so free of fear, greed and demand, okay? किस बात का डर? When Imam said do not fear, meaning do not be fear of losing or not be able to get there. You are afraid that you will never be able to succeed. Do not fear, do not have that cough, that fear in your heart, because sitting in the ibadat is blessing itself. Then what can be the fear? But if you remember one of the ayat, Allah say, be humble and be fearful. Now, is Imam talking about different thing, and then the Quran is talking about different thing? Let me answer that now. When Imam said, do not fear, he's saying, do not fear that you will fail in the ibadat. Because ibadat, sitting in ibadat is a blessing itself. When Allah talks about in Quran, to be humble and be fearful, he's saying, fear that you do not lose and go away from the didar of the Imam. So be fearful that you are not moving away or pushed away by the Iblis, by the Shaitan, away from the didar of the Imam. Second, greed. Imam said, do not be greedful. Right? Because when we say greed, what we are saying, if I do this, I will receive this. यानी कि अगर मैं पैसे दूंगा तो मुझे बड़ा घर मिलेगा, मैं पैसे दूंगा मेरे को बड़ी गाड़ी मिलेंगी. That is a trade. And greed comes with, I have this much, I want this much. That's a greed. What Imam saying, I have given you the Isme Azam, the greatest reward. Do not be greedful. Be shukr guzar. That's what it means. Do not be greedful. Be shukr guzar for what you have. Alright? Greed. Do not. So if you have little, be thankful. If you receive a little bit more, be thankful. Do not say, how come I have this much and he has this much? Because when you say he has this much, that's greed. Second, Mera Naam, and I'm talking about now those titles, that people run after titles. Do not be greedful. In ibadat, don't think that you will receive the blessing of the Imam and in return you will have a bigger name, you will have a bigger title, and people will say, oh my God, this person is so great because he has the nur of Imam. Do not be grateful, because this will not give you vanity, nor it will give you the name and influence, because it is a matter of the soul, it is a matter of the batin. Last, demand. You cannot say because I'm sitting in ibadat, I must have nur. Imam should give me the nur because I'm sitting in ibadat. That is a demand. Nur is not your right, but a privilege, a blessing. And I love this farman where Imam said, you can have this in 3 days, in 7 days. The very first time you sit, you may have this. Or you may not have it ever in your lifetime. But regardless, do not demand. Because if you sit in ibadat, and if you are honest to yourself, sitting in ibadat, then that blessing will come with you, with your soul. And when you pass away, you will see what that blessing does for you, how that blessing will protect your soul, how this blessing will recommend your soul for the higher level. For the higher level. Do not be demandful. G.
There's a question. I think given to Salim has put in my son. So I don't know if it's him or someone's given it to him. So my son has a question. He has not received a ball from Imam yet. Can he pick an Isme Azam from the Quran and recite the Isme Azam? Would it be like stealing from the owner of the book? Please explain.
Very, very, very good question. I'm so proud of you. Good question. One thing, I do not agree with you that your son has not received Isme Azam. I do not agree with that statement. Imam, willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or unknowingly, have given Isme Azam to every single Ismaili. And you will say, oh well, my son has not received it. Go to Golden Jubilee Faramin, about 13-year-old Faramins, and there are about 20 or 30 Faramins in which Imam has given Isme Azam for you to remember him by. And listen to this word. Willingly or unwillingly, he has given you that Isme Azam. Knowingly or unknowingly, he has given you the Isme Azam. If you read the Golden Jubilee Farman, you will find those 3 Isme Azam minimum, and you may find even more Isme Azam. For example, Ya Allah, Ya Muhammad, Ya Ali, and any name of the Imam. Remember, Mullah says, me with those names. G. Oh, you had a second question.
Hello.
Can I take the Isme Azam from the Quran? And the word you used was, can I steal the Isme Azam from Quran? You are the spiritual children of the Imam. You are his child. Your father, the Imam of the time, has and encompass all the Isme Azam from the Quran. As a child, take it, my son, take it. That's what Imam is saying. It is all yours. Like in your home, if you want a cookie, you just open the jar and take the cookie, right? The word stealing is used for those who does not accept the Imam as his spiritual father. So I wanted to correct that language a little bit. Thank you for asking. Good question. Thank you.
Hello, Yali Mother. Can I ask question?
So if we take 3 more questions, one from Fazana, one from Leila, and one from the chat, and we'll wrap it up. It's nearly 9 o'clock. Fazana, please go ahead.
याली मदद मिशनरी साहब.
Mulali Madad.
ओके, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है, आपने पहले बोला था कि इबादत में लाइक लेडी ने आपसे पूछा था कि आप सही तरीके से नहीं कर रहे हो, तो वो चार चीजें आपने क्या बोली? एक तो हमको कैसे पता चले कि लाइक हम स्पीड आपने बताई थी 140 पर मिनट, लाइक आपने बोला था कि हमको बोलना है
100 to 120 per minute. 100 to 120 per minute.
20. ओके, दूसरा ये कि हम तो सही पढ़ रहे हैं लेकिन हमको क्या पता कि हम मिस्टेक कर रहे हैं, लाइक और किस लाइक स्पीड में, लाइक एक कोई मिशनरी बोलते हैं कि लाइक आप ब्रीद इन करो तो बोलो, ब्रीद आउट करो तो पूरा इसमें आजम बोलो, लेकिन ये पॉसिबल नहीं हो सकता है. आई डोंट नो, वी नीड टू प्रैक्टिस इट, आई थिंक सो. तो हमको क्या पता चलेगा कि हम सही पढ़ रहे हैं या गलत पढ़ रहे हैं, जबकि हमको पता है लाइक हमारे इसमें आजम और इसको अच्छी तरह से जानते हैं मीनिंग भी.
Okay.
बट स्टिल लाइक जब इबादत में बैठते हैं तो लाइक वी नथिंग फील.
समझ गया मैं आपका
क्या
क्वेश्चन.
कर सकते हैं?
मैं आपका क्वेश्चन समझ गया. So she is asking, can you explain a little bit more? How do I know? How do we know that we are doing? इसका बहुत ही आसान जवाब है, बहुत ही आसान जवाब. Remember, अमाल का दारोमदार नियत पर है. If you are following the way you're supposed to follow, you just confuse yourself by saying, a missionary is saying that you're supposed to say, Yali, Yali. And then, Aziz sir, you are saying twice in every breathe, 120 times a minute, right? So you just confuse yourself because you are looking at two different talimat. Even though the both talimat is correct in their own time, but today, for you, you need to follow what you need today. If doctor tells you to take 2 Tylenol, but your mother tells you that 2 Tylenol is very heavy, take 1 Tylenol. Now which prescription will you follow to cure your headache? If you are following doctor's prescription, I think it will work for you. Follow the prescription that is given to you. Alright, number 1. Number 2, how will you know? When you follow the Isme Azam in correct manner, first, your concentration will improve. Second, there will be less and less interruption, thoughts. Third, your hour will go by so fast, you will not even feel, matter of fact, you will feel, I hope I had few more minutes. The happiness, the satisfaction that you will feel from the ibadat will be much higher than you have today. So those are some of the indication. But remember, practice, practice, practice. It may not happen to you tonight. It may not happen to you in 3 days. It may not happen to you in 7 days like it has happened for others. It may not happen to you in 40 days. What the Imam says. Just sitting in ibadat is blessing itself. Do not worry. Do not worry. There is no wrong. You cannot do wrong. That is the words of Imam, right? You cannot do wrong. Ji.
Hello.
Yali Madad.
Yalmudad Aziz Bhai, thank you so much for all the analogies that you have put it up, explaining all the questions. Thank you so much. We can understand it so well. One more question on the question that Shiraz Bhai had asked about the 3 stages, Nafse Amara, Nafse Lawama, and Nafse Mutmaina. I wanted to ask you, how do we relate physically and spiritually?
Because all 3 of this has to do with your soul. So physically, how do we understand? And I have a great example. And remember, you do not have to answer on this line. You go home and you look at your closet. You look at your kitchen. You look at your home. And the first answer will come to you and you will know. If you have more than, way more than what you need in your closet, and I'm talking about clothes, right? If you have a 365 clothes to wear in Jamaat Khana, you will know your Nafse Amara is working perfectly. Your Nafse Amara is riding your soul, is telling you what to do. I want more clothes. I want more expensive clothes. I want more clothes, more clothes, more clothes. Look at your closet. Second, look at your kitchen. If you have more than what you need, and I'm not talking about not having a good food, okay? Do not take me wrong. And I'm not talking about not having good clothes. I'm talking about what is the limit? What is the limit? When does our Nafse Amara will not be able to tell us what we want, but we should be able to tell ourselves what we need. That is example of Nafse Amara. Okay? That is how you will know physically. Nafse Mutmainna. How will you know that physically? When you do something and instantly you know that you have made a mistake. Instantly you know. Oh my God, I should not have done that. Another example, okay? Because example is easy to understand. Let's say you do someone's backbiting. You are talking to your friend, you're talking to your mom, you're talking to your husband, you're talking to your children, you say, "Are aap bhai che na, akho di ma maru mathu khai che. Whatever, right? Instantly you feel, oh my God, why did I do that? This is backbiting. She's not even here. Why did I do that? Then you know your nafse lawama is working perfectly. It's telling you what is not right. It's correcting you that you should not have done that. Nafse lawama is working correctly. If you are contained with yourself and you say, oh my God, I'm so happy, and I'm not talking about worldly happiness, that regardless of whatever happened to me, I'm happy. And I'm telling you, I'm the first one to admit that we have so many unhappy days on the smallest level. छोटी छोटी बातों में हम अनहैप्पी हो जाते हैं. Meaning, our nafs mutmainna is not completed yet, and I'm not able to be happy. And I'll give you one फरमान, and then that will be the answer to your question. मोमिन वो होते हैं जो हमेशा खुशी में होते हैं, क्योंकि वो रूहानी मस्ती में होते हैं. Does that answer your question? They are with the nafs mutmainna. ये मोमिन की निशानी है. जी.
To take our last question, Hamida Welchi. Okay, or Galaxy 7, whichever one unmutes first.
Okay, I want to ask Aziz Bhai, sometimes when Hazrat Imam gives the Isme Azam, he gives the Naqsh as well. Sometimes he doesn't. Is there any reason why he does give the Naqsh and sometimes he doesn't?
Very good question. So first answer has to be must and compulsory. He does what he wish. That's the first answer. Second, what are the benefit of having Naqsh and Isme Azam both? Because sometimes we have a hard time reciting the Isme Azam. So it is much more beneficial to us as the murid, as the follower, to follow the Naqsh. And I believe someone had asked me on this line or one of the other line that how do we remember Naksh? My humble advice to whomever asks is, in your privacy, write down the Naksh on a piece of paper and concentrate on that during the daytime. And once you remember the Naksh fully, meaning engraved in your brain, and Imam has used a word in his Farman, engraved in your mind. Let's say Ya Ali. So if your Ismi Azam is Ya Ali, and if you can think of that Naksh anytime you wish to think of that Naksh, and that is engraved in your brain, now you don't even have to move your tongue. You can look at that and concentrate on your Naksh. That's why Imam gives Naksh and Imam gives Ismi Azam both, so it will benefit us in the way, because you are unique, I'm unique. I may have an easy time remembering the Ismi Azam. You may have an easy time remembering the Naksh. Whatever is beneficial to you. So Imam gives us two ways to come closer to his Noor. G.
So when you do ibadat, do you concentrate on the Ismi Azam, or do you concentrate on the ball itself?
You can do both. You can do one or the other, whatever is beneficial and convenient for you. If Naksh is more beneficial, easier to concentrate on, then that is the way to go. Remember, it's individual. It is up to you. Or if Ismi Azam is more easier to recite, to jambna, jump जो है, अगर वो आसान है, तो वो आपके लिए आसान है. अगर नक्श आसान है, तो Imam has given you a secondary way to remember him, to concentrate. Remember, it's all about concentration. If reciting is more easier, then that is your way. If focusing is more easier, then that is your way.
Okay.
G.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
I hope this will help. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Uncle, thank you. If there are any other questions, I'll leave the chat open for a few minutes, and if you send them across, then Aziz Uncle can have a look at them. Are we meeting next week, Aziz Uncle?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Yeah, so we're going to meet again next week.
Thank you.
So if you send them questions across, then we can have a look at them for next week.
Yeah. So if you would copy and paste into an email, I will pick those questions, and if I need any correction, I will make them, and then we can start with those questions like we did today. I think it was great help to those who truly are paying attention and need help. Thank you so much again, everybody. May Mola bless you all. May Mola be with you all. May Mola give you anything, whatever good wish you have in your life. Thank you. Ya Ali Madad. Ya Ali Madad.
Yeah, one other thing to everyone. So please